want the smell of a dying pig's last fart.
What?
What was that? Marlon Brando. Something in Paris. Do we know what we're talking about here?
He wants to smell a dying pig's last fart.
I want to smell
That's
a
fucking...
dying pig's last fart.
That's like hideous.
It is hideous. Can we show our mugs? Well, don't show me. Show the camera.
Oh. You want the whole thing?
Yes.
Oh, we're going the wrong way. Go fuck yourself. Let's see if I can get it in there to focus.
This Pyrex cup, it's like my grandparents had. They were always drinking out of Pyrex cups.
Pyrex, that was like from old school.
Yeah, and they also had, you know what else they had? Those weird aluminum cups. Left a ring. But...
Oh, dude, those are fucking badass. Because we used to have the whole set of plates and the... You're talking about the anodized aluminum, the orange, the green, the blue.
Different colors.
Gold.
Kind of weird, purplish. Yeah.
Like, that's like Brady Bunch level shit.
It is. I have my grandparents' old cups, and some vivid memory where my grandmother grabbed my purple cup, and it had like Sprite or something in it, and she starts drinking it, and I say, hey, you know, because I'm a kid. I'm like, hey, that's how kids sound.
Right. Like your kid. Daddy.
Excuse me. I'm pretty sure that's my Sprite.
And then that sigh afterwards, the sigh of...
She's it's not the right tauntaun.
Oh, mate, I thought somebody fixed that for me.
That's how she sounded. Frenchy. That was her first language, that Creole French.
Oh, man, I thought somebody fixed that for me.
I'm like, who the hell would have fixed that for you? You know that's a kid's. You know that's a kid's Sprite. You know that. You know that's a kid's Sprite.
Dude, this cup was given to my dad by some lunatic in Washington. Sent him a go fuck yourself Vice President Dick Cheney cup.
Yeah, so it says go fuck yourself, but more interesting, the quote is attributed, because I'm going to say attributed because I'm not sure. I mean, I'm sure Dick Cheney
apparently
said
there was some moment where he yelled at it. I think the Bushes.
Go fuck yourself?
Somebody, yeah, I don't know. Some guy my dad knows in Washington.
See, it's good he yelled it at the Bushes and not the Clintons because he would have ended up dead.
Right.
All right, moving on.
Don't edit that out.
I might edit that.
I'm going to keep reminding people that you edited it if you do.
Yeah, moving on.
Hillary's testifying right now.
Right now?
Yeah,
or like
right
really?
now.
Today?
Yeah, you know what she's saying right now? I don't recall. I have no ties.
If I could just get to my email, set it deleted.
I have no ties. We have nothing to hide.
Let me ask Bill. Meanwhile, Bill's in the cat house and fucking...
My favorite Bill Clinton quote ever. I mean, this is like just dripping with bullshit. It depends on what the meaning of is.
But he didn't say it like that. He said, well, I guess it depends on what the meaning of is. You ever notice like these people from like... And we're from Louisiana. We're broadcasting from tropical Louisiana. I say that often. You always tell me, don't tell them where we're broadcasting. We're broadcasting from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Okay. Just look at the simple demographics. The crime here, very low. Anyway, Bill Clinton. What is his middle name?
Jefferson.
Oh, it's
William Jefferson Clinton.
William Jefferson Clinton. Okay, and he was a Rhodes Scholar, met JFK. He was actually adopted, right? Very weird history on him. If you look at it as far as a politician, he wasn't born into one of these old aristocratic politician families, right? Wasn't he adopted? And
that's what they tell you. That's what I'm gonna start saying from now on. Every time somebody goes, "Oh, well, this is this," I'm like, "That's what they tell you."
That's what they tell you. It's kind of true because you're wondering whose love child it actually is.
Well, I don't know about that, but
I'm just saying. I mean, he's somebody. He wasn't nobody. Nobody's normally don't make it to the presidency.
Yeah.
That's just true. We touched on that. My friend hates it when you say we touched on that.
What?
Let me piggyback on. I don't know. It's a figure of speech.
What's that got to do with anything?
Well, it has to do with, I'm referencing last episode. For those of you who haven't watched it, Static and Dust episode 2 is pretty what the kids call fire. It's not mid, as the kids say. It's legit. Anyway, to go back. Bill Clinton, very fascinating figure. And as he was saying, now what would you be referring to? That you ever notice, like in North Louisiana or one of these hillbilly places, they say "what" with a whistle. What? Like, so you watched and actually Leonardo DiCaprio, who's been overlooked largely as a great actor.
Well, there's a reason for that, but that's...
Well, tell me why. I want to know why. I would know. We'll get to that later.
Dude, The Wolf of Wall Street, probably one of my favorite movies.
It's a great movie.
Fucking great.
It's a great film.
You ever seen The Beach with him?
Oh, that was a long time ago. They went to Thailand or somewhere. Who is it? Tell me about this. Yeah, The Beach.
The Beach, Tilda Swinton. It's like the commune. They're on some, I don't know, man. Caribbean island or whatever, or Mexican island. It's completely hidden from anywhere, and they don't want anybody to know where they are. And they've developed this commune, and only certain people can find it. And it's this little. It's kind of like, to read the book Lord of the Flies.
Oh yeah.
It's the same thing no matter what. A clique forms, and then this part of the clique hates that part of the clique, and then dysfunction. It's the same. It's humanity. Anyway, that's what
humanity.
The movie.
I mean, that's kind of the point.
It's fucking sad, but yeah.
That was kind of the point of Lord of the Flies.
Lord of the Fries. There's that martini.
That Freudian slip, the Lord of the Fries. Yeah, we have these great fries at a restaurant.
Kettle One slip.
So here's the deal. We talk about this every time. We always go to like a high-end restaurant.
Oh, you press record.
This.
Oh, okay, good.
Oh, it's recording for sure. Always go to a high-end restaurant. I think because we get lo-fi here, we want to start hi-fi, right? Hi-fi, lo-fi. So we go to a great restaurant and get the best martinis, sometimes some sort of ridiculous appetizer. Anyway, I say all that to say, actually, where the fuck were we? Lord of the Flies. Let's get back to Lord of the Flies.
You mean a restaurant?
They don't know what that is. They're in internet land.
You're asking me what restaurant?
No, in internet land, they don't know anything about Baton Rouge, Louisiana. What I can tell you, it's a very strange little pocket of weirdness. You can Google and figure it out. Low crime,
but don't move here.
Yeah, moving. No, don't go here.
This is like the fucking island in The Beach.
This is like Gotham City.
Gotham City.
Without a Batman.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, as far as you know.
Well, I don't know who he is. I don't know his name. Anyway, so to go back to Lord of the Flies, I mean, they made pretty much every high school kid read that, right?
I don't know. Not these days.
Was it not? Okay, when I was in high school.
What was the book we were talking about earlier? Timmy's Got Two Mommies or something like that?
Well, this is a little different. In 2004, I graduated high school, and I will tell you that one of the required readings was Lord of the Flies.
Yeah.
And I think it's way too early to understand what that's about.
Yeah.
You're in the midst of it. You have no idea what it's really about. It's about humanity. It's about the basics of there is no utopia. There is no great new world. Even when you drop children somewhere, violence occurs and this weird hierarchy. What the fuck?
I
said heavy ass sound.
Humanity's nature will
prevail.
Always devolve, though.
Devolve, and that's perfect.
Yeah.
Especially if there's a belief that nobody is watching. I mean, I think the end of the film, I don't know how the end of the book is like there's this authority figure, this man in military outfit, and he's like, what are you doing? It's like authority. It's like reality. It's like that, like restoration to.
You talking about Lord of the Flies?
Yeah. What are you kids doing? And they all kind of revert to children. They've become these ravenous
little monsters.
Little monsters, little villains.
Yeah.
And when authority comes, they're humbled, they're embarrassed, and they're brought back to this childlike stupor.
I can't wait for that to happen all over the United States.
It's going to happen.
I'm waiting for the snap.
I just worry that the authority figure is a fucking PC computer. With the NVIDIA chip. Yeah. I mean, isn't NVIDIA behind a lot of this AI, from what I understand?
No.
It's really weird, man. You know, this hysteria around AI. I mean, chances are we're using AI for this very podcast. I mean, whether it's the editing, whether it's the gnarly ass graphics, or whether it's the vocal enhancements to make me sound like I'm actually, a grown ass man instead of a guy with a gravelly.
Are you seriously using AI to enhance your vocals?
We can't even. I mean, dude, AI is everywhere. I'm sure I'm using it in some manner, whether it's running in the background or it's actually conscious. It's there. It's somewhere. I mean, we're using AI for something right now, right? I mean, if we get to the bottom of what artificial intelligence is. But anyway.
We've gone astray. We were talking about, you brought up Bill Clinton for some odd reason I haven't talked to you about.
It's kind of like the conch in Lord of the Flies.
Oh, yeah.
Something in the distance blows the conch, and it brings some sort of reckoning, some sort of signal. So to go back to the Clintons, I made a joke about the Clintons originally about it's a good thing because we're talking about your mug. Dick Cheney said,
well, he's a piece of shit as well.
He didn't that happen during a hunting accident?
Apparently, yeah. I don't know if it was an accident or not. They made it seem like it wasn't, but it sounds just like a stupid fucking moron shot.
I just pew-pewed Marvin in the face.
Yeah.
But he's like, whoops, I thought it was a quail. Yeah. So anyway, so Dave was showing his mug here, and it says, go fuck yourself. And the quote is attributed to Dick Cheney, and he said that he probably said it to the Bushes, which is safe. If it was said to the Clintons, it would have never made it to a mug. He would have disappeared into the abyss.
Maybe it was towards him.
Conspiracy.
But so back to Bill Clinton. So I'm watching this thing. This is about 3 or 4 months ago. And it's like a meet and greet or something. Or Bill with his bodyguards is walking through some room. And some reporter that he happens to be right next to just goes, hey, any comments on the Epstein files and that you being on the island and this and that and that slimy? He just smiles, man. And he looks at this person and says, I think the facts speak for themselves. Isn't that such a freaking lawyer thing? Like, yeah, they do, don't they, Bill?
Kind of like we said, what is it? Area 52 and a half.
Fuck.
I can't remember where anyway, I've never seen an alien, not a live one.
It's like the reason I'm never voting again.
The facts speak for themselves.
I just look around and I'm like, oh man, Dude,
isn't that weird? Like we were talking, so a friend of ours was talking about how he has jury duty. Were you there for that at our corporate coffee house? No,
who the hell
this is another guy, flock of seagulls with his hair slicked back. His name is or something. I think you were there for a moment. He got there early and he was talking about how he had jury duty, which sucks.
Oh, yesterday, tall dude.
Maybe so.
Yeah. I know.
It might have been 2 days ago.
He sat down for a minute.
Exactly.
Yeah, another guy. Yeah, because I was joking with him about the jury duty. About every time I get jury duty, I just tell the truth. And they immediately crossed me off that fucking list.
I only got jury duty once, and they put me in the stand, I guess that would it when they were interviewing.
Yeah.
I made the mistake of telling them I could read, and which automatically qualifies you, because in Louisiana, evidently 80% of the fucking pool gets dismissed if you can't read. But anyway, so I was there, and the lawyer asked me, "Is there any reason that you think you couldn't serve on this jury?" I said, "Oh my God, thank you for asking," because I've been dying to say this. I don't like the military cargo pants that your client is wearing. He said something about destruction of property. And that paramilitary gear is just making me think he fucking did it. I don't even know what it was. I don't know. It was a fucking, I don't like the way he looked at me and did this kind of wink like, "You got me, bruh?" And the guy's like, "Yeah. We'll dismiss jury number 23.
I'm still pissed at my last interaction with a quote unquote judge who made me go get a note to prove that I was taking care of my mom as a primary caregiver, and I couldn't sit on a jury bullshit thing for 2 weeks because of a murder. Like, I give a flying fuck anymore. I don't want to be a part of your system. They pretend that it's fun to be there at 7 o'clock in the morning in a cattle call of 200 people, whether you're going to be locked up for 2 weeks debating whether some idiot is guilty, killed someone, where somebody tries to tell you the guy didn't kill someone, every fucking word out of my mouth is going to be about some sort of alien anal probe to where they literally go, cross this guy off the list forever, right?
Yeah.
Here's his name, here's his number, social security. He's crazy.
I just want to be like, I don't know. I injured my left nut a week ago, and all I could think about is getting it better. I think that would be the thing where they say, juror number 23, go ahead and go, guy. You don't have to go home. Just get the fuck out of here. Like that. It's like, yeah, my left nut, man, just hadn't been right since last week.
How'd
anyway,
you
about your little friend.
I
fell on some facts, evidently.
Oh.
Yeah, not facts, F-A-X, but F-A-C-T-S. That'll hurt your pride and your nuts, in effect. Maybe we're getting too abstract.
We're way out there.
So what? It's static and dust. It's all just static and dust.
I want to talk about something interesting.
Oh, shit. Every time he says that, I'm like, do I have to edit this shit later?
No, we're not going to edit anything.
Okay.
I'm not going to say or, oh, wait a minute. I just watched a podcast where Joe Rogan said phrases like fucking and this, that. And
He's Joe Rogan.
I understand that, but my point is it's ridiculous to
okay. So Joe,
the same people that scream about freedom of speech are the same people that are literally telling you don't have any.
So Joe Rogan brings views to YouTube.
Right.
So in effect, there's nepotism there. Joe Rogan ain't getting canceled from fucking anything.
I'm not saying he should.
Jeremy,
or he will,
from Baton Rouge. Dave from Baton Rouge. If he says something very strange, like
it doesn't matter.
Beep, beep, beep,
I'm not equating
beep,
us to Joe Rogan. I'm just saying it's such hypocrisy.
It is hypocrisy, but that's America.
In fact,
it's the world as large.
If we were
shit, dude.
They wouldn't say a damn word. They would let us just be all over YouTube with waving flags and death to America. They don't care.
It's weird.
But if you go, there's some really bad shit going on over there, and that guy did X. Can
we talk about this? Okay, so in high school, I'm going to go back to high school, and I know maybe some people. Well, it's not that fucking long ago. I'm 40 years old.
I was going to bring up some fucked up shit.
Well, can you remember it so we can go to it afterwards?
I wrote it down.
Okay, so when I was in high school, I was always the outsider. So, I mean, I was in the group of outsiders, so to speak. Not even so to speak, actually. And so what does that mean? We listened to like heavy metal music. We dressed like midnight. We thought about things that we weren't supposed to think about because we were supposed to think about whatever they told us. And obviously we were contrary to that. I went to a non-denominational Christian school, which they were really nutty. They told us the world was 5,000 years old, that Jesus would come any day. You don't sleep well when Jesus can come any day. Yeah. Anyway, so that's the reality, the fear that we lived in. And so I say all this to say, actually, I don't even remember where I was going with this.
I don't either.
No. What were we talking about before?
Bill Clinton.
No, we fast forward beyond that.
You stopped.
Always
you said
been
we're
a
going to
rebel.
back it up to high school.
Well, I said I've always been a rebel. Where was I going with this?
He said metal music and
we're listening to metal.
He caused me to think of this piece of shit so-called principal I had at the time who said that anybody that dressed the way I do, which was a flannel shirt and blue jeans and I don't know, whatever shoes I had on at the day, that meant you were a drug dealer. I said, no, that means a shop at Walmart. What the fuck you talking about, drug dealer?
It means I roll out of bed and this was the first thing next to my bed.
This is my uniform to let everyone know I sell weed in the hallway, whatever.
I'm going to stop the tape and rewind and figure out what the fuck we were talking about.
Well, I have no idea.
I said something along the lines of, I'm 40 years old and what are we talking about? What the fuck? Dude. All right, moving on. God damn it.
And cut.
That's all right. So anyway, did I fuck this whole thing up?
Kind of. I don't know where you were going with it. I was just listening.
Doesn't matter. Next topic of discussion.
All right. So we've talked about a lot in the past few days.
We have.
I wanted to talk about this thing that's I've always been an animal guy, like dig animals in nature and whatnot.
Okay.
And I don't talk about it much, but when I was a kid, I thought I was going to be a herpetologist. And for those of you that don't know what that is, it's a study of like reptile. I studied snakes. I know a lot about snakes and whatever. And I also got into like, I really like sharks. And when Shark Week came along, I was like totally enamored with that because it's a fascinating thing. But when real life came along, and, you learn, everybody sees the movie Jaws and it's terrifying and whatnot. And those animals are man eaters. And if you're in the ocean, you're in their cafeteria. They don't know any better. They're doing what they do because that's what they do.
I kind of feel like this is like some sort of analogy or metaphor.
Well, no. It's like in the news in the not too distant past, this woman was killed by a tiger shark. And it reminds me of when I lived in California. Like there, and you can go on YouTube and search man doing interview with bull sharks and watch this guy get attacked while he's standing in like 2 feet of water. It's not funny, but it's funny because the idiot is standing there with a microphone telling everybody how crazy they are to think sharks aren't violent. And he's sitting there saying, well, they don't like the taste of human flesh and of this and of that or whatever. And this friggin' bull shark grabs his calf muscle and drags him away. He's talking to a guy all on camera, drags him off into the surf, tears his leg off. Next scene you see, he's limping through the hospital with his calf missing. And I'm going, and at any point did the thought cross his mind that it doesn't matter if the shark likes the way you taste or doesn't. It matters as to whether or not you're stupid enough to put your fucking leg in close enough proximity for him to bite it the fuck off, right?
Sir, you've lost your leg. How irresponsible.
People are stupid. So when I'm living in California, I was blown away. You go to the beach, I'm always down at the beach. And these surfers are always freaked out that somebody got bit. I'm like, you're paddling around dressed like a seal. What the fuck do you think is going to happen? How many times does that have to happen for you to go, maybe I shouldn't do that? Like they act like it's a mystery that the damn animal is just being itself. And then you have the other idiots that
You're dressed as bait and you get mad when you hook something.
Yeah, then the other idiots get in the boat and they go, we're going to find the shark and kill it. They all go out there and they go killing numerous sharks. You're not going to kill the shark. And even if you do, there's thousands of others to replace it. And if you go paddling around tomorrow,
chances are one of his homies will catch up.
Yeah, it's the most stunning thing. It's like, so this woman that I'm talking about, I can't remember exactly where it was. She is like on a trip. She's like a triathlete or something. And she's got all these people these kids she takes on this swimming trip. And apparently some guy that had been attacked weeks prior told her, hey, there's a tiger shark out here. Oh, I don't want to live in fear, blah, blah, blah. It's on video, by the way. It's horrific. She gets eaten, yanked under the water in front of all the little kids that she's got swimming with. They've all got these like bracelets on that are supposed to emit some sort of frequency to scare the shark off.
How'd that work out?
It ate her.
Whoops.
It fucking ate this woman.
Or as our friend Jim says, womp womp.
Why are humans still that stupid? Like
it's something in it. I mean, it all relates. I feel like everything we talk about somehow connects to kind of what this whole thing is about. We want to believe or we want to disbelieve, but the reality is the world is.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
You're not changing it.
And your perception of it has no effect. And the world gives this many fucks.
Yeah. Well, it's like you were just saying they taught you in school that the Earth's only been here 5,000 years. I'm like,
But how do we get on that subject? I can't remember. We were talking about Leo DiCaprio, right? We got on something.
I brought up the movie
The Beach.
I was joking about him not being a good actor when in reality but
how did we bring up Leo? I'm trying to remember how Leo got brought up. It's just lost in Martini Land.
We were talking about Bill Clinton.
Yep.
And then you brought up something about did you say another actor prior?
I don't know, man. It's like Martini Land. Things got lost in Martini.
This is going to be a good. This is going to be entertaining. People can want to do something what the fuck they're talking about.
We do, but we don't. Listen, Martini Land's vicious. By the way, our bartender today was an unusual little figure.
Yeah.
Can we not talk about her?
Talk about it all you want. You tell every time. See, I'm guarded. Like every time I start to say somebody's name, you're like, can't say.
Don't say her name. I don't even remember her name, even though it started with a T and it had a T.
And she winds up being a sister of a friend of mine, which is really even funnier.
It's bizarre to me. Like I don't know. I don't want to feel like that old guy. I feel like I might be that old guy now. I always felt like that young guy, but all of a sudden things have shifted in my world, where like the jokes don't go over like they used to. And I look in the mirror and I see this gray in my beard. And I'm like, if you see the gray, they fucking see the gray. Every bartender I meet now is 23. They're not 28. They're not 31.
And you're not 23 anymore.
No, but I used to be 28. I'm forever 28. Something in my mind tells me I'm a little smarter than the bartenders I'm speaking to, or a little more world experience. And when
what was funny to me was she held her own against you.
It was kind of cute. I mean,
remember when she diverted? Look at the strawberry.
That was weird. That was a big ass strawberry.
Yeah, it
like,
was.
what did we say to her? We said something.
I don't know.
Or I said something, and she's like, "Look at this strawberry." And
I ate like all this fries. I couldn't handle it.
I want to know what the fuck we were talking about earlier with Leo DiCaprio.
I don't know.
One thing about Leo DiCaprio is
you could pause it right here and back it up.
I don't think we should do that.
That's up to you.
I would love to know, but I don't even know if I could find the fucking thing on here. I'd have to load it up.
Oh yeah, and that might be a ass whip.
Let's
just keep going. Let's just talk.
Let's keep going. I don't remember. I'm often going to bring up my high school because I had such a strange experience going to, non-denominational Christian school.
See, okay, you keep saying that phrase. That was part of it. Something about
that was part of it because they were so interested in declaring that they were rebels.
We kept talking about. I said that. Hillary was testifying right now and pretending that she has no ties to anything. And
ask Bill.
And then her husband with the whole, I think the facts speak for themselves. That fucking bullshit artist.
And then we paralleled that with something. I was like,
something. Then you some kind of way. That's where you went into.
Right. We said, I think the facts speak for themselves. And it's like a matter of, well, what are the facts? What's this? What's that?
Something said something about busting a nut on facts.
That never happened.
Well, that's what you said. FACTS.
You better be careful because the wrong F word will get you canceled.
So I've heard.
Speaking of words that will get you cancer.
Cancer?
That martini's like, gotcha, bitch.
This is going to be a really good episode.
I think it will be.
I think we should roll with all of this where people are. What?
Dave always wants to go unedited, but
I do, man, because
I
have nothing to fucking hide.
Well,
except for that chick in Cleveland. But that's.
I have plenty to
joke.
hide.
That's an old inside joke.
Because I will reveal myself when the moment is right. And when the night becomes whatever it becomes and the earth becomes a sea of blood. What is his name in Ghostbusters? That Carpathian. What is it? You know who I'm talking about, the creature.
Yeah, but it's been a minute.
I am Vladimir. Not Vladimir. It's something. The Carpathian, the sea of blood. Anyway, you'll know who I'm talking about, you nerds. Anyway, that's when I'll reveal my true self. Our true enemy has yet to reveal himself. And to quote Marilyn Manson, I feel like that's been a reoccurring theme, but I feel like we're going back to...
Do you realize every podcast you invoke the name of Marilyn Manson?
I think Marilyn Manson is really a fascinating
we talked
person.
about things today. You told me, don't talk about him now. I want you to tell me. And then you said something about Manson earlier. And
yeah, I did.
And I brought up, my one of my exes.
That looks like Elvira.
Yeah. And so, I'll tell you the story. We met him in a fucking airport.
Yeah, you told me that.
Not at the airport, but...
no, it was a flea market, I think you told me.
It was a Love Field Antique Mall outside of...
Let's start that again.
Love Field Airport.
So you met Marilyn Manson before? Yes. Where?
Love Field Antique Mall. And this is years ago. This is like 2001, 2002 maybe. when Manson was part of the
golden age
of
grotesque.
Lollapalooza with Ozzy.
Oh, okay.
I think it was Ozzy, Limp Bizkit, that, if that was a thing.
That era. That sounds about right. Yeah.
01, 02, something like that.
Sure.
Anyway, yeah, it was the oddest thing. Me and Dawn, I said her name. Doesn't really matter. She would laugh. We were going to her band. She played bass in a band called Ghoultown. And we were going to a barbecue at the singer's house on a Sunday morning. And before that, we went to Lovefield Antique Mall, which is, I don't even know if it's there anymore. It's this amazingly huge friggin' place where there's like even a used car, not a used car, classic car dealership inside the antique mall. And it's like fucking for real, man. Like a restaurant in there. It's massive. And it's right, like I said, it's right outside of the actual Lovefield Airport. So we go there and just walk around. And I'm in there, you know, she's off by herself. And Dawn, if you knew her, she's always got a video camera with her. And she's off looking at whatever she's looking at. And I'm just milling around in this one like area with all these books. And dude, it was like a scene out of a movie. I just kind of look up, and this chick, this beautiful girl that looks like 1942 World War II bomber nose art, you know, with the hair, the polka dot dress, comes walking around the corner. She's like 10 feet away from me, and she's just looking at me, and I'm staring at her, and she goes, "Hey, good morning." And she just keeps walking, high heels. It was like either red and white or black and white polka dot dress with the 1940s hair. And it was Rose McGowan.
Wait, was it Rose or Dita Von Teese?
It did, but it's, you know what I mean? It's the same, like the other times I bump into people, it doesn't register.
I wonder if it's Dita Von Teese.
It was Rose McGowan.
Oh, okay.
But I wasn't.
They look alike, but go ahead.
I didn't think that when I saw her. I just thought, damn, that's a beautiful chick.
Yeah.
And she walks off, and I'm like standing there by myself going, how come there's no one ever with me when that shit happened? 5 minutes later, Dawn comes running up. Come on, we got to go. We got to go. I'm like, what? She goes, Marilyn Manson's over here in the friggin' aisle. I'm like, what? It's 9 o'clock on a Sunday morning in Lovefield Antique Mall. Are you hungover? Like, what? You know? So I go walking with her, and sure shit, we go down this aisle. There's nobody in this place. There's a massive, like, imagine something the size of like Home Depot.
Okay.
Full of books and antiques like that.
I'd like to go there.
There's Manson standing in the aisle. There's Rose McGowan. There's some giant bald-headed Mr. Clean-looking bodyguard guy and a shorter guy. And he was buying a collapsible red Nazi lamp with a freaking swastika on it where you collapse it.
Whoa, what?
It's a lampshade. And you extend it out, and it's red with a freaking swastika on it. When you collapse it down, you can't see the swastika. That's what the guy's buying. I met him twice. That was the first time I met him. Second time was a different time in New York. But anyway, so Don's like, oh man, I gotta get his fucking autograph. And he's like, I'll sign something, but put your video camera away. She goes, oh, come on, man. Just like take a quick video. He's like, no video, no nothing. And that's when I'm staring at Rose McGowan, and it hit me. I'm like, oh, you're her, right? They were cool. They were nice. He wouldn't let her take a video. And he signed that book I told you about that I wound up selling on eBay.
The eBay.
Yeah. He's like, I don't have anything to sign. Nobody had anything to sign. I turn around, look at the shelf, and what do I see? A black binding of a book. So I grab it, and it's Rise and Fall of the Third Reich. I grab it, and I handed it to him. And he just starts laughing. He opens it up, signs his friggin' name, hands it back to Dawn. And that was it. But it was like that really strange. Why are we talking about that?
I don't remember why we're talking about Marilyn Manson because I brought it up.
Oh, because you bring him up all the time. I meant to ask you that. Why?
He was a major influence in my life, not necessarily in the sense of I wanted to be him or be like him, but I liked his music.
Yeah.
I liked the fact.
Definitely interesting, creative.
Yeah, I felt isolated at this school I was at, and he kind of like was that secret, weird big brother. Speaking of big brother.
So did they look down upon you? You were
Well, I had to keep it a secret. They probably would have kicked me out.
You didn't go to school with your Marilyn Manson CDs?
Couldn't have. They would have kicked you out.
Did you ever dress in drag or anything like that?
No, I never dressed in drag, but I did go see Marilyn Manson in 2001 at the State Palace Theater. I convinced my father, who's kind of not uptight, but he's an attorney and kind of,
straight lace,
so to speak, to go. And I remember him listening. He had this back in the day, like 2001, he had like a portable radio. He was probably listening to a local college game, probably LSU or something. And we're outside the State Palace Theater, dressed like midnight, all the little gothic honeys.
Right.
And we go to see Marilyn Manson. That was some shit.
Yeah. That guy, I don't know, who knows about him? He does seem like he's kind of fucked up, but I've seen so many interviews with him where he is very intelligent.
He's fascinating. He's
Bill
very
Maher
intelligent.
or whatever, just different.
Bill
O'Reilly, different interviews. And, the day, like I said, that day we met him, there was no interaction really. It was just like hi and bye. I was in New York visiting a friend of mine, and I guess we were in Manhattan or something, and we went to some upstairs, secret bar. It was like upstairs of an old house, and it was dank. And dude, a girl tending bar in this place was like incredibly hot. Like it was like, you know what I mean? Out of place almost. John Wickish, if you will. You walk into a place and you're like, this is like really strange.
Anyway, something strange is going on here. She does not belong in this.
Yeah, there was nobody. There was like
universe.
Maybe 3 or 4 people up in these. They had like sofas everywhere and lounge chairs. It was in this little bar in the corner, probably as big as the width of this room. And she was really cool, whoever she was, and she knew my friend. And we just sat up there talking, and friggin' he walks in the door, man, and he knew her. They were friends apparently, and they were talking. And he's wearing blue jeans, tennis shoes, t-shirt.
Blue jeans, Jesus Christ.
White t-shirt, like generic, no makeup and shit. And he got a freaking Budweiser, and he's standing there talking. And I'm just like, he was just nice and smart. And
no Dracula vibes, huh?
No, I mean, like people just assume people are a certain way because of their persona or whatever. And one of the most fucking weirdest nights of my life was getting off of I don't even know where the fuck I was, Chicago or Detroit. Someplace like that, and we had to park our bus like literally in a parking lot across from this venue. It was like an old hockey arena or something. It was a big place. Anyway, so my point is, we're on the bus, but you had to get out and walk all the way across a parking lot, across a street, because there was no place to put the bus anywhere near the venue. And it says all these people lined up outside, waiting to get into the show, and I've been on the bus the whole time, so I'm not paying attention to what's going on outside. Well, right when I walked down the stairs of the bus and opened the door, directly to my right are these barricades and like 4 or 5 cops and all these fucking people behind the barricades, and they've got these big crosses and bullhorns and all of this shit, and they're yelling Satanist, baby killer, all this, calling you every name in the book. And I'm looking at him like, dude, I'm just like Dave, that I ride my mountain bike, I drink coffee.
I'm a real sweet dude. I don't know what's transpired.
Well, I'm not a real
here.
sweet dude, but
you're not a sweet dude.
It was just a strange thing to have that in your face when you're not even close to that reality that they believe you are. And they're shouting it like through bullhorns, and I remember that. I'm never forgetting that. I'm looking at them like, wow, y'all are fucking crazy. Because
the world needs villains.
Apparently so.
I've always said to myself, why not me?
Oh, dude, honestly, but see, that's just it. It's always the people. Like if it'd be that way. If I ever really went off, it would be the end.
Joker style.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a joke. It would, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not.
Wouldn't be a Joker.
It wouldn't be half-ass.
Oh, you like to do 100%, 100%.
Well, I mean, if they're going to build you up to this, like, they're going to cause you to snap, then I think your snap should reflect their worst fears. Does that make sense?
Yeah, you don't want to disappoint. You want to like exceed and excel.
Right.
So what were we talking about at lunch? Because I remember this is the problem with lunch. We talk about shit, and it's kind of like a pre-production thing for the actual taping. I don't even know if the kids will know what taping actually means anymore.
I have a friend that no matter what you say, he's going to be like, it's not film. I'm like, okay, I know it's not film, but we're filming. But
there's always that romantic guy in the corner.
It's videoing.
Yeah, vinyl sounds better.
It's digitizing.
Film is different. It's so romantic. It's romantic until you have to fucking cut it, literally, with a razor blade until you get the fucking...
See, that's just it. Nobody even knows what that is anymore. Well, I mean, some people do.
They have no idea that, the actual print and the acid, depending on what medium, will burn your hands. It's not cute. It's not romantic. It's not fun. If you can't eat French fries in peace, it's not fun.
So, well, that's weird. Okay. Here's a cool thing, kind of music related, AI related, whatever. And I'm just like, I am not somebody who's so mired in old school I can't accept new things. I mean, I embrace, and there is nothing that doesn't suit me. I will embrace anything. But I also am a guy who started with classical piano. And you can either do that or you can't. There's no AI coming to save your fucking ass. You're sitting in front of a piano. It's your 10 fingers and 88 keys, and you're playing a Mozart piece. And there's like a bunch of people watching you. It's like a tightrope between two skyscrapers. And you're either going to do it or you're plunging, right?
And the world knows you're plunging.
So that's how I started playing music. So everything trickles down from there. I'm from the school, you can either do it or you're just a fucking bullshit artist.
You're a hack.
Yeah. And so I'm watching this thing yesterday, one of my favorite people, Neil Peart, drummer for Rush, and he was talking about how practice never bothered him because he just wanted to make sure if he was going to play something, he wanted to be able to perform it from stem to stern, hopefully in one take. And as complicated as their music is, that's, you listen to some of that. If you really listen to some of that shit and go, this guy, to do what he does is next level. A lot of people can run their mouth, but he actually did it for 40 years. So, right. And so what he was saying is he brings up the album Moving Pictures from 1981 or whatever, 1980. And you could tell he was like super proud of it. He goes, we actually performed that music. I had to rehearse that music. We didn't have, digital editing and all of that. He goes, sometimes you have tape machines where you could go, we really like this half of the song, this half of the take versus that half. But he goes, other than that, we weren't doing that. We were either printing it as we played it or we were doing it again. And I just love that.
Well, the world's changed now.
It has changed.
But what's weird is like, you would think all this versatility, I mean, and this is kind of going to obviously parallel with what the hot buzzword is or buzz phrase is now, artificial intelligence, AI.
Yeah.
But you think these things are going to free us, but we always find them to end up being prisons in the end.
Crutches.
Digital recording, digital video. Everybody thought, oh, we won't get hung up on editing anymore.
Yeah. But you will.
You will. There's always a new box, always a new Pandora box. The reality is the only thing is you either have it or you don't. And
I can't stand the fact that I can't play something.
I've literally
ruined my own recording sessions because it'll get in my head. Like I think I'll have it down. Mm-hmm. And no matter how many times I roll tape, I feel like, I'm sorry, there goes that word again. Roll tape.
These archaic.
No matter how many times I hit the record button, I can't seem to get it to flow and it'll bother me. And then I'll shut that shit off. And for like a week, I will do nothing but practice that until I can sing it, which I should have done it prior. Well,
so all of that is to say, I grew up in a different generation. We have a different age. We have an age gap. I'm 40. You're a little older than 40.
I'm way older.
That's okay.
Like 75.
You're not 75. But I grew up in the digital age, like even as I won't say I was a musician, but I was musical and I had interest in music. But I grew up digital, where there was this cheating mechanism where I could play the first 8 seconds and loop it for whatever the hell. But I didn't.
Well, that's okay if you're using it to create. I do it.
I know, but I don't record
it and go, that's me playing, though. That's bullshit.
So we talked about this during lunch, though, where AI, and I know we can't help but look like old men when we talk about the dangers of AI.
Well, there's a lot of those internet guitar players getting exposed now for not being able to actually play the shit they're putting out.
I mean, there's going to be everything. Imposters coming out with AI. But what I was going to say about that is I think we have like AI fatigue now. I forgot the quote from Fitzgerald in regards to The Great Gatsby, but like it talks about it's something along the lines of, and I'm probably screwing up this literary reference, but something along the lines of everybody was drunk in love with something, and then the next day they woke up with this kind of hangover and fatigue of it all. I think we're almost there with AI. I mean,
you mean already?
Already. Yeah, not almost, already. Because, when I began to see 70-year-old and 80-year-old people begin to use it for making flyers for whatever random shit they were into. And now, you see them kind of bitching. It's a weird thing. We talked about this even with Static and Dust, our podcast. We register the name, obviously, on multiple platforms. Next thing you know, there's an AI channel. I almost hate to plug it. An AI channel called Static and Dust, which is completely AI. I'm not even sure it's a real person who created this.
Yeah.
Because that's the world we live in now. The creator may, in fact, be, artificial. And it's like some sort of music channel with filmwire kind of scenes. And it's so strange now where, and maybe we just sound old, or it's like we're living a Stanley Kubrick film where we use artificial intelligence and we try to use it to enhance our life. And then artificial intelligence use our artificial intelligence. Let me figure a way to say that. We use artificial intelligence to enhance our life, enhance our creativity, to improve and better. And then artificial intelligence mimics what we're aspiring to do, and it does it better. Go figure. And it replaces us. Yeah. And we no longer recognize there's no Pepsi challenge on this motherfucker. Okay. It's better because it's better, but is it better in its perfection? And I feel like we're all suffering from this AI hangover, AI fatigue now. Well, where we're like, shit.
Can we take this a little further?
Come on. Where are we going?
All right, so I wish we had something better than my pencil. Do you have a pen with a cap on it that we can...
Not only do I not... listen, we live in a digital world, and I'm a digital girl.
Write on a piece of paper.
Like Madonna says, we live in a material world, and I'm a material girl. We live in a digital world, and I'm a digital girl. No, I don't have any pens.
Madonna?
So, no. What were you trying to do with a pen?
I remember being called homosexual slurs when I was touring with Chastain, because I would wear like a Madonna Truth or Dare t-shirt on stage, and then I would just shred everybody's face. And they were like...
That was the era where she was halfway interesting.
Yeah, I really liked her. They were hurling all kinds of...
these 20-some-year-olds don't even know who Madonna is anymore.
Yeah. She's what, 70?
But what's weird is she's still trying to fuck like rappers who, like, I mean, she was like all obsessing over Tupac and everything when Tupac was relevant, and everybody's like, oh my God, Taboo.
She lost her credibility after Rodman.
Oh God, dude. Anyway,
hey man, don't talk about. I like Dennis. Don't talk bad about Dennis.
Okay, so to go back to AI and the fatigue surrounding AI.
I want to talk to you about.
Yeah, tell me.
So, along those lines, like, I have a lot of problem with modern society, and I'm not trying to sound like this old school brother, but reality is reality. And if this was a pen, I'm sure everybody's familiar with a pen and the plastic cap that goes on the pen, and how I look at society and people, how they're completely unaware and take their reality for granted, and they're just so shallow that they don't understand this iPhone here.
Sharp piece of science.
Is like an amazing piece of technology that you could literally use it to lift yourself out of the fucking gutter. If you had 2 cents to rub together and went, if I invest my time in this and use this, right?
It's a genie. This thing's a fucking genie.
Yeah, like it's more computing technology than NASA had in the fucking 60s by a million gazillion miles.
Right.
And what does the majority of society do with it? They point it at their butthole and post pictures on fucking Instagram so they can possibly date the idiot down the street that's doing the same thing.
So I've said that before. Right? It was the weirdest thing, and don't forget what you're going to say.
But I'm trying not to.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
So it's the same, I'm not trying to be funny.
It's real.
It's funny to me. I look at musicians like when I used to teach. I don't even care about teaching anymore because the younger they got, the more distracted I could tell they were, where they, like, for instance, my mom, people like my mom, would always ask me, why do you think, this is my opinion, and I made a joke about it, but I know what it takes to practice at the level it takes to play Mozart and Bach pieces and whatnot. You pretty much shut your life off. Serious pianists or what they do, they go into a conservatory for 20 fucking years. They go in and put in there when they're 5. They don't come out. They don't have a social life, but they can play freaking Rachmaninoff like they wrote it, right? It's a level of dedication. I don't see anything close to that anymore in modern society. Everything is I want to press a button and I want to get the result now. They don't know what it takes to create. So I was trying to explain this to this pinhead I dated one time about how you take everything for granted. And I said, and I had a pen, not like Wolf of Wall Street where I say, sell me this pen.
Right.
But I had this pen.
Great film, by the way.
Which, excellent. And it had a cap on the end of it. And this is along the lines of, no imagination, no creativity. Everyone wants a quick fix. They don't appreciate anything. Right now we are sitting in a room, dude, because what I see when I look around is when I touch something as simple as this cup, the technology that went into producing this simple coffee cup
right
far exceeds what most people even want to hear about. They take their reality for granted. A pen cap, a plastic, a Bic pen with the blue plastic cap, right?
Right.
What does it take for that to be in existence? Well, first of all, it takes someone with a brain who went, wow, every time I put my pen in my pocket, I get a blue spot. What if it had a cap on it? Right? He had to design a cap. He designed a cap. How do I get this thing made? I can make them by hand. I can carve them out of wood or, this new thing, plastic. Well, how did plastic come into being? And then you think about the giant construct that is petroleum and refining and developing plastics. And there's a myriad of technical things that go into getting a half a cent of plastic. Then it has to go through a design process and a manufacturer, and then the tooling that goes into making the molds to mass produce a fucking pen cap. The technology is astronomical. The heart of it, the beauty of the human mind that designed every bit of the process, just from the simple guy that finds the oil field to the guy that builds the oil rig to the workers in the field to getting it to a refinery. Think about what I'm talking about. The machinery, the nuts and the bolts of every boat, ship, truck, everything all goes into this fucking pen cap.
Yeah, it's a perfect fusion of innovation.
It's the same way I look at a fucking musician who goes, I'm a great musician, and then they proceed to fucking not be. Well, when I look at one note by somebody like David Gilmour, who just hits this one note on a guitar, and that one note tells you who he is, where he's from. You know what I mean? is such a thing that I can't, the beauty of it blows my mind, but the friggin', what's the word I'm looking for? The ignorance of the beauty by 99.99% of the human race is why I'm like I am. I could care less what these people do. I think it's all fucking futile. And when you keep saying static and dust, that's what I look at. I look at all the great things. You specialize in paintings from what era? 1730 to 1830?
Yeah, I'm sure 19th century, 18th century, so 1700s.
People that made their own friggin' pigments.
Yeah.
They made their own brushes. Am I correct? They made their own fucking canvases, right?
In the 18th century especially, they would have to gather raw materials and grind them up and mix them with oil and make their own hair brushes and all of that. And
you fast forward to nowadays, and all anybody wants to do is pose as best as they can with their cell phone, which could save their life if they put their brain in it, and take this photo of themselves that misleads everyone as to how they actually look.
Sure.
Put it online to get a date with some clown who's probably doing the same thing.
5 miles away.
And then they wonder why their relationships all suck because they're all so superficial. They're just waiting on doing the next selfie.
Yeah.
And that's my point. It's the same way with the music business. There is no more music business. There's no more art.
Well, so
I mean, there is in certain instances, but I'm saying on the whole.
So we haven't shared this, but there's.
Did I belabor the point?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. And plus, even if you did, we can use this sharp piece of science to edit it down to. Well, I'm not sure.
I was this close to crying, man. If you'd have just kept me going a little bit more, I'd have gotten there.
See, that's the sort of emotion we need to prove that we're not artificial intelligence.
But my point is, someone will.
But this. Let's talk about this.
This is as good as the Beatles because I fucking put it in AI. Hey, I need something that sounds like Paul McCartney singing on this and that, and it's like, yeah, but Paul McCartney did that in 1962
because he woke up that day.
Yeah, he was like, yeah.
So it's a weird thing. A couple of points to make off of what you shared, which is true, is, back in the day, we had to worry about, people have always worried about invaders who would come and change their world. And, that used to be, this euphoric, whatever, or what I would say were euphoric. You had this world, and then all of a sudden these strange vessels appeared on the shoreline, and these new people who promised to bring smiles actually brought, pox and all these other awful.
Like the Spaniards in South America?
Well, I wasn't going to bring them up, but yes, brought basically all these fun diseases and
I love how they keep
plagues. But I say all that to say we've invited.
I was going to say something really jacked up, but we have to come back to the guy with Tourette's.
Let's go. Oh yeah, we got to talk about that. But we've invited in our own plague.
Yeah.
It's weird. I mean, it's kind of like the double-edged sword of technology. We're always looking for a way to make things easier.
Yeah.
But we've in effect made things more complicated.
There's nothing wrong with fucking technology.
No, in fact,
it's being used as a crutch. It's like
it should amplify you. Like you were saying, people can only see, even with these. I keep using this sharp piece of science. Dax Riggs from Dead Boy and the Elephant Man, who you probably won't know or from Asked About, said this in one of the albums. He said this sharp piece of science, and we used this sharp piece of science, and it was supposed to be some sort of oracle for us, some sort of extension, some sort of thing that would let us see beyond. But it only echoed and mirrored our own reflections to the point of being, stagnant.
Yeah.
And induced paralysis, and we did it to ourselves. We medicated.
Totally.
To the point of
I can even bring it closer to home to where you and I are from. Not here, but
where's
musically. One of the funniest things I ever saw, and it wasn't just me, because somebody pointed it out to me.
Okay.
When I'm living in Los Angeles, and there's this club in North Hollywood. Oh God damn it. So bad. I'm so bad with names.
We'll bring it up later, right about here. Okay, go ahead.
I'm trying to remember.
Doesn't matter. We'll bring it up later. If you remember it later, we'll insert it. Go ahead.
It's like the thing I do with names. Like it's a place I went to 5,000 times.
Whiskey A Go-Go.
Huh?
Whiskey A Go-Go.
No, it wasn't Whiskey A Go-Go. It doesn't matter.
We'll insert it later, dude.
It was in North Hollywood, and would go there all the time. And it was basically like who's who of fucking rock and roll at this time in Los Angeles. And at the time I'm speaking of, we're talking 91, 92 era. And Guns N' Roses had just happened, right?
And they were a big L.A. band, right?
Totally. and I'm in there one night, and I'm fucking standing at the fucking bar.
Not the Roxy, huh?
No. Okay. This is in, I can't remember.
North Hollywood. I don't know. All right, go ahead.
I'm like literally drawing a blank on a name I've said 5,000 times. It doesn't matter.
Oh.
I'm in this freaking bar, and I'm standing at the thing talking to the chick. Actually, the chick behind him. Remember the band Bang Tango?
Name sounds familiar.
They were a popular band on MTV. Early 90s, late 80s, early 90s. They were kind of like a cultish, Jane's Addiction-y, LA Guns vibe.
Sure.
I guess. The bartender chick, her name was Leslie. Talk about a beautiful girl, man. That's why I remember it. I remember her. And I remember standing there talking to it, and there's some band playing.
Isn't that funny? In the end, we remember beauty.
Oh, yeah.
But go ahead. It's all about the beautiful girls. It's like they're bookmarks to our existence.
Yeah.
We don't exactly
remember.
This
is where I want to say famous person's name who burned me with a cigarette, but I can't say her name because.
But anyway, so you were at this North Hollywood bar.
She was drunk and she fucking was like this with.
And a famous person burned you with a cigarette.
Right here, bro. Anyway, so yeah, I remember standing there and this bartender chick, Leslie, goes, "Hey man, look. And she goes, "Look over." And I looked at and standing along the wall, like wallflowers at a high school dance, were all of these poser guys, all in a row, as around the walls of the bar, watching this band play with their arms folded like they were rock stars. They were all dressed like Axl Rose, right? They all had the look. It was hilarious. And I thought, I'm like, these clowns are all standing around judging whoever this band is, and are all waiting for the next big thing to happen so they can copy it. They've got nothing going on.
They're clout scouts.
It's something, yeah.
They're waiting to scoop whatever's new,
yeah,
so they can steal the style and complain about how fake those fuckers they just copied were.
It was laughable, man, because you could tell. I don't know if my thought was correct, but that's the thought I had. Like, wow. Look at you guys.
This podcast is quickly become, in a good way, about the contempt. I think we all have kind of a contempt about the world. And I think the older you get, and I hate to keep referencing
I'm just
age.
trying to be happy in a contemptible world.
Well, it's like comfortably numb, right? Like to quote Pink Floyd, I aspire to be comfortably numb. Kind of like we talked about last episode. I don't want to know what I know I don't want to know.
I understand what you're saying. I just come from the other standpoint of if you don't know it, that's how it creeps up on you, and I don't want that to become my reality.
I think you should be conscious of it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I know what the fuck I don't want to fall into. People who are good at things often have these kind of compulsive, obsessive behaviors, right? I know a guy who got into drums and started collecting lots and lots of sets.
Are you talking about me?
Yeah.
I was like, wait a minute.
It's like what I'm trying to say is people who are normally, I won't say brilliant to toot our own horn, but people who learn the most about things.
There's one in that other room I gave you just so I could.
Yeah, so you could now have a project. You really wanted to give it to me so you could have an excuse to
spend more money on
it because it was lying dormant, perfectly happy, in your house, but now it's somewhere where it needs to be seen, and not in its current form, but in a beautified form.
It's gonna be
and
beautified.
You know just the guy who's going to do it. Sure, it'll take some effort and work, but you know a guy. So, but that's weird about, to get back to the AI thing, it's weird, and to reference what you're saying, we can only operate within our scope. And it's funny, the more technology we have, the more we are able to see our limitations, right? Because while these things excel, it's like it all points at our inferiority.
Yeah.
So it's like I remember going to the library of all places. That's a place where they deposit and hold books, and you can actually take books out. I know that's going to be something that's somewhat archaic because it's physical media, even though physical media has come back in certain ways. But
there's something about, though, that tactile thing of, it's like an old album where you can. Well, it's something you open the album and you're like, oh, there's my guitar player guy, and the lyrics.
It's something about the kid. It's something that the kids are now finding novel.
They're going back in time.
But I wonder if it'll wear off or it'll be permanent. I hope it'll be permanent. So I say this about going to the library. I remember back in the day, I was trying to write a book, which I never wrote, or I did write, but it's never seen the light of day, or at least not the ultraviolet lights of day. But anyway, and I would go to the library because I thought it was a quieter, stranger place before I discovered coffee houses. And I would see people that I would deem to be indigent. They looked like they were, having a difficult time in life and didn't necessarily have what most people would consider to be means. So they would go to a place that's free or very cheap, the library. And it was funny is that they weren't reading to cultivate something or to culture themselves. They were on the computer. But what's weird is they were on the computer on social media back then, and the focal or the main platform was Facebook or MySpace. So it's funny.
MySpace.
So they would travel, and often I'd see
that thing died a quick death, though, didn't it?
I feel like it had a little longevity in it. So
I don't really remember it.
But these people would get on the public transportation, travel from where they lived and where they were from, to go to a remote place to view the digital avatar of the guy who lived down the street.
Right.
Guy or gal. And it always just seems so odd. It's like we're always searching for something. It's so close to us, what we're looking for. I mean, this is like the hero's journey. It's so close what the fuck we're actually looking for, but we have to go a million miles to figure out what we're looking for. And technology seems to make that journey now, it makes that journey even more abstract, even more interdimensional.
I know.
It's so weird.
An interesting guy, random guy. He's my butcher. That we ought to have.
Do people have butchers anymore? Okay.
I do.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's just this down to earth, salt of the earth, friggin' brother. He's an '80s child, and every time he sees me, we talk about. He's like, man, it was just so fucking cool, like how things have become so plastic, so fake, so everything used to be so. You either got together with people, you experienced life, you did shit, you went outside, whatever. And I was telling him about, I live in a neighborhood that's an entirely giant family neighborhood, and you never see
anybody outside,
kids outside, or anybody. Weird. And it used to be you couldn't keep kids out of their neighbors' houses. It was just like this shit all over the street. Everybody knew everybody, and it's, I don't know. I'm glad I had those experiences.
Everybody wants to watch Stranger Things, but somehow they haven't really gathered what the core is. It
was about the fact that there just seems to be a complete laziness of human interaction. Like when you and I met each other, we started talking. We didn't sit there and go, "Hey, Jeremy, hey, Dave," and then pick up our phones and just do this for an hour. We had actual conversations about.
We'd actually seen each other at the same coffee shop for a long time. And what broke the ice was we laughed at somebody. Like you saw me laughing, like, what the
I made a face. I knew you knew Jim. and that told me you were cool if you knew Jim, because I like Jim.
Yeah.
And Jim is fucking crazy, and that's a good thing. Yeah, I can't wait till he's sitting right there. But we were talking about the whole human interaction thing and about how there really doesn't seem to be that much. And, like I said, she's 30 years old now. So you think, I guess she's old enough to feel it.
She's halfway to somewhere.
Online dating has got to be a empty thing. And so I brought up this time. I remember going to this restaurant one night, and I was bummed out because I had just moved back here and I'd broken up with my chick that I didn't want to break up with, but I had to break up with her because I moved away, right? And I was in this restaurant by myself, and I'm eating and I'm looking around, right? And I see a couple at this table, a couple at that table, everywhere, guys and girls on dates. And every one of them weren't talking to each other.
They were doing this?
They were doing this.
Well, I feel bad because I just checked the phone myself, but that was checking it because my wife
too,
said
but I have to. But my point is I'm just kind of like sat there having a couple of drinks for like an hour or two, just paying attention.
Right.
And I swear to God, they didn't interact. They looked at their phone the whole fucking time.
So one thing cool I got to talk about.
It's like when I deal with musicians, like I turn down more shit than anybody knows about because I don't want to fucking deal with people.
So,
yeah.
And it's rare now because you go to restaurants, like you were saying, everybody's got to you can be on your second date and you're checking to see what Lucy or Cindy or whatever the fuck your goofy little friend is doing on her date, which is also her second date.
Girlfriends I have that ask me why I'm not dating anybody, and I can't tell them the same thing. I'm like, man, because it's like I'm not being an old fuddy-duddy. I don't have any toleration for people who don't have an attention span. It's like, why am I here?
Well, you mean emotional.
You're more interested in what you posted on Facebook 4 hours earlier?
You mean emotional attention span too? Like people are so.
Well, what I was going to say. It's like the music thing. I've turned down so many people. I have people all the time. Hey, man, do you want to play on this? Do you want to do this? And I'm like, no, man, And granted, my situation right now is completely different. My situation.
They don't know your situation. Can you explain briefly?
Well, I mean, the fact that I'm here and I spent a lot of time on
You're back here. You're back home, so to speak, where you grew up.
Yeah, but I mean, you and I got like this thing going on and the movie thing going on.
So you were a musician. You were pretty much you were a touring musician, and now you've kind of refocused onto your interest.
I totally changed on purpose.
Right, you're interested in doing film.
Anything to do with that reality.
No touring anymore. You're not interested.
I could care fucking less, bro.
Right.
I already said that's a whole other podcast where we devote a whole time to it for me to really tell you about all that.
Well, we said we were going to do that, kind of allow me to reintroduce myself, so to speak, where you're back in Baton Rouge.
It needs more than 10 minutes.
Well, I'm going to tell you 10 seconds. You're back in Baton Rouge, kind of back with your family, taking care of some family obligations.
Yes. My dad passed away 3 years ago.
Right.
I hang out with my mom all the time, make sure she's okay.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm working on a movie. I'm working on a movie with you. I'm working on this podcast with you. I'm about to mix a record that I recorded with my dear friends in Dallas, April and Troy, band 49th Vibration. We recorded it all like 10 years ago, and it never got released. And
it's been sleeping, huh?
I just asked Troy, hey, what if I take a shot at remixing it? Because I haven't heard it in that long, and I'm like, I don't want to hear it because anyway. So I'm busy with that stuff. But my point is about the people asking me to do stuff. Hey, man, it'd be cool if you played on this. It'd be cool. And I'm like, I don't tell them. I just go, I'm too busy. The reality is, and I guess I'm saying this on a podcast, so when they hear this, they'll know. I don't care. You know what?
Be like,
I'm an honest guy, so if you can crucify me for this, here's the deal. I don't want to deal with people anymore because most of them are like, they don't listen to you when you talk. And when you're a musician and you feel like someone's not listening to you, what's the point? Because
listening is your life.
Well, I want to create something real, and that requires listening to each other instead of just send me your tracks, man, and I'll play this and I'll play that. And it's like, no, bro, there's way more to it than just send me your tracks. If you're real, if you're real, like if I call up certain people right now and ask them for something, they'll want to have conversations about it. They won't be like, just send me whatever it is and I'll play something to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, it's like a participation instead of just send me something automated. I mean, we live in that age now. Hey, I want it overnight. I want
like
something
Dice
easy.
Man when he says, you don't just stick your finger up someone's ass. You have to get me interested in the project, right? Talk to me a little bit.
So I built a disco in my basement, and I was porking my wife.
My point is that everybody's become so shallow and myopic and completely engrossed in their own rectum that they don't realize.
Engrossed in their own rectum.
There's so much more to life than what you're thinking. If you take a chance and go, hey, what is the person across from me thinking, right? Maybe that'll help influence what you're thinking, and the two things can become a sum greater than its parts. And that's the essence of creating anything. And no, I swear to God, I meet so few people who are even aware of that. It's this online, send me your tracks. And it all comes homogenized, and you're just like, yeah.
Well, it's funny you said that.
Or they can't mix worth of shit, and they sing, you do send them something, and then I'm not mentioning any names, but I've recorded a lot of shit for people that want to pretend it's theirs.
Mm-hmm.
And they pay me.
Okay.
That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, okay.
Ghost player.
Yeah, ghost studio musician.
I really need somebody that can fucking play this, man. I really need somebody that can play that.
What I like just now is that you kind of summarize the essence of kind of that magic creativity. I think people who are creators, we talked about this on the first episode.
I want to just say one more thing. When the last time I really wanted to even cared about doing that, is I recorded this really kick-ass bass track for someone. I thought it was anyway. And when they mixed it, dude, it sounded so thin and bad that it lost its whole sense of feel. They sapped all the energy from the notes. There were no sustain in the notes. It was just this clickety clackety percussion of the strings. And my point is, when you got something that's moving really fast and that's all you're hearing, it sounds like noise.
Yeah.
All the slides were gone because they EQ'd it to the point where the bass didn't move the music anymore. It was just this percussive. Anyway,
clamor. What it really means is they didn't get it.
No, they don't get it. That's my bloody point.
They didn't get it. They never got it. Because if you kill what was the essence of it, it's because you never felt it or heard it. But what I was going to say is you kind of hit a nail on the head, at least in my opinion, where you talk about creativity.
You reminded me from way back what I was trying to say like 30 minutes ago.
Well, let me finish this.
Yeah.
So you hit the nail on the head in regards to creativity. I think people who are creative are all trying to create something that's more than sum of its parts, whether it's 6 tracks in a digital audio workstation or whether it's whatever.
Happens, bro.
Because it's like painting. I mean, a great painting is more than the pigment arranged in order.
Yeah.
It transcends that. And I think that's where this kind of like magic happens. Some people call it God. Some people call it the energy, the essence, the karma, man, whatever you want to call it. But there is something, a perfect fusion that can happen. And it seems to happen, I won't say in all things, but in many things when it happens and when something comes together the right way. It changes things, or it inspires change.
Sure.
That's magic.
Well, like,
yes. So to go back to what you were saying. That's what we're fighting for.
What started me off thinking, this is so funny. This has started me off thinking about this whole topic, but I didn't say this at the beginning. I just started talking about it and come full circle. So going back to, like I said, I started out as a little kid. I'm the little nerd that's 9 years old playing the Mozart and the Bach and all of that crap in the recitals, and the weirdness of that. Like, when I think about that now, like, I don't know that I could do that now, because it was an awful lot, dude. I played an awful lot of crazy shit when I was 9 and 10 and 11 years old,
Okay.
And it took a lot of, that's not easy to do. There's like, it's a whole other level of awareness on your instrument versus playing bass in a rock band. I mean, my God, it's like, I used to laugh at people that made such a big deal out of this. Oh, that bass player's a shredder. I'm like, really? Has he ever, sat down and learned a Bach fucking?
Is he multifaceted?
Yeah. You ever learned a Bach piece which both hands are going and whatever. So along those lines, my mom was asking me one time, she's like, oh, not my mom, my dad. He's like, because we used to talk about it all the time. My dad was an opera singer. He was like all into classical music. And
really?
Oh, yeah.
See, this is something I did not know. Okay.
Yeah.
U.S. Marshal who also had an interest in opera. That's kind of
my dad, in a nutshell, he had a scholarship to play football. He was offered, I should say, a scholarship to play football at Vanderbilt.
Okay.
And wanted to go to the School of Music, and wound up not doing that and going to the Peabody School of Music, which is basically across the street, and became friends with this very famous opera singer, a man by the name of Cheryl Milnes, who I don't even know if he's alive anymore because he was my dad's age, so who knows. And they were best friends, and they were as good as each other. And Cheryl Milnes went on to be this world famous bass baritone touring the world with every friggin' opera company, right?
Okay.
And my dad went into the Marine Corps and spent his life on the radio and getting shot at by, Viet Cong or whatever the hell. And
whoever the enemy was that
yeah.
week.
Yeah. He could have done all, he used to always talk about it. Man, I went, he thought that's what he should do. So he did it. But then, he became a policeman and a marshal and whatever. But he used to, I talked to him all the time about when I was in my first band, this and first band, that, and, all of the shit you don't know. And you rub out, you get in fights with guys you don't agree with. And then you're lost. You don't know what you're doing. Am I doing the right thing? I just want to play music. And this guy's worried about what kind of jeans he's wearing. It's that kind of crap where none of that I was never about the fame part. It's like just gross to me.
Well, it's something. Do you feel like, I think true musicians, true artists are compelled to create, because if they don't, there's an emptiness that can consume them, and they're not trying to be consumed.
I was always the dude that wanted to practice, and everybody I was in a band with, aside from a few people, were like, oh, dude, you're just too much. You practice too much. You want to be, and I'm like, I don't want to suck in front of people.
But it's not just so much you were worried about people. You also maybe wanted to make sure you were presenting what you wanted to present.
Yeah, I didn't want to embarrass myself in front of
but you're making it sound like you were worried about them. But is it really? Or
no, I was worried about me.
You wanted them to see your true vision, and you wanted to feel comfortable with that, right?
I guess I'm
asking. I mean, maybe it's also like, hey, I don't want to suck in front of these jackasses.
Have you ever fucked up live in front of a bunch of people?
I have. Remember, I
have done it so many times.
It haunts you.
It's on right now. I'm having an anxiety attack thinking about this one time in particular, but that's a whole other story.
I fucked up and tried to make a joke out of it, and the microphone stand fell. But go ahead.
See, that's
hit me in the mouth.
It's like where just like I took out half a drum set falling backwards one time.
I had that blue.
Cut my head open, falling into the ride cymbal. Like I literally tripped over the drum riser behind me, and busted my ass. Bass guitar and everything. Loudest sound you've ever heard in your life.
These are scars.
Oh, dude. Anyway, so see, you always derail me. I was going to tell you. Oh yeah. So my dad would always ask me. He's like, "Well, how do you? Because we would get into these kind of philosophical things about people like Handel and Mozart and Bach and Beethoven and Vivaldi and you name it. They did things that 300 years later, people are still, they're not ever going to touch it. Right? I mean, Mozart writing these pieces when he was 4 and 5, 6, 7 years old that are just world renowned, played by symphonies, and the greatest musicians play this stuff, right? And it's like a...
Whoa, why is this zoomed in?
I have no idea.
Zoom out.
That's kind of cool, though. That was even cooler.
Zoom out.
Long story short, we would have these philosophical questions about how are these guys so great, and it's at one period of time, right? Like what happened? How is that possible? Because it really is in a span of about 150, 200 years, right? Where all these people existed and wrote this amazing shit.
Right.
And every time we would talk about it, I would have a different answer, or a different opinion, I should say. Well, the most recent one was about 5 years ago. We were having the same conversation, sitting at the kitchen table, and I said, I'll tell you why Mozart was like he was, and why Bach was like he was, etc. is because they didn't have fucking social media and
distractions
and cell phone distractions and bullshit. You know what they had?
I'm listening.
They had a piano and a candle. You know, that's it. They sat there and it came out and they wrote it down. Oh yeah, they had a piano, a candle, they had a pad of paper, and they had one of those, like, you know, eagle quill pens, whatever.
So all of that is to say that our humanity is found maybe by being human, falling into mistakes, learning the mistakes. I know this all sounds rather philosophical and all sounds like kind of gloom and doom as well. I hate the hysteria of what's coming next. I mean, I made a joke about this. When the radio emerged, people were worried that the sound waves would kill the fish. I mean,
when the car emerged, they were like, humans can't withstand speeds over 25 miles an hour, and you know,
and see how that worked out, right?
Now we got NASCAR.
Just now we have NASCAR, but it's a strange thing though. With us, we're constantly reckoning, I guess, with technology and reckoning with our existence in it. But maybe it's just feeling old. I mean, every generation is afraid of whoever the rock star is. People were scared shitless of Elvis Presley. Then came Kiss. And
oh my God, the way Marilyn he's shaking Manson. His hips, you know.
And now it's whatever the rapper is. Everybody's afraid of whoever is showing out and showing up.
Like I said last week, they ought to be afraid of the people teaching their kids.
But that's all. That's interesting too.
You know, blaming.
Is it also like, it's kind of like Elton John says, Jesus freaks out in the street, something for God, selling tickets for God. What is
Who said this?
Elton John. I should find the lyrics.
Yeah.
But, and I never saw myself as someone quoting Elton John. Let's see. Huh?
I love Elton John.
No, I like the songwriter what's
Bernie?
His name? Bernie what?
Taupin.
Bernie Taupin. That's the guy out in the street. Hold on. We got to edit that. Out in the street. Let's see. Jesus freaks out in the street is a commonly misheard lyric. Oh no. From Tiny Dancer.
Yo, now I know about this.
Bernie Taupin wrote the lyrics to reflect the free-spirited culture of California at the time, specifically the people he encountered on Sunset Strip. Okay, so what are the actual lyrics? Let's see what it says.
I have a story about Sunset Strip in my. You know what's going to be a recurring theme in all the stories I tell you?
What's that?
Is the fact that I'm completely oblivious 99% of the time to my surroundings, dude. Like I don't know what it is, man. Like,
well, I gotta finish this point.
Finish.
You just
reminded me of something. That's all.
So I was making this point about, and I had to pull up the iPhone to make sure I got it right. The Elton John song "Tiny Dancer," which everyone loves, which is actually the lyrics were written by who?
Bernie Taupin.
Exactly. Jesus freaks out in the street, handing tickets out for God. Turning back, she just laughs. The boulevard is not that bad. It's kind of like I was going to kind of get into addressing the hysteria of it all, the changing world, addressing hey, watch out, addressing the hysteria of it all. It's like maybe we all need to just look out. You know, there's those Jesus freaks, and I'm saying Jesus freaks, but it's those people, oh my God, AI is the end of the world. We're losing our humanity. Turn away.
See, this is where,
and we just need to look back and say, it's only the end again. It's not that fucking bad. I don't know. I want to be that person, but
I don't think AI is the end of the world.
Yeah.
I think the way certain humans are going to use it is going to cause more problems than it's worth, is what I've been trying to say.
I mean, but is it a long time coming?
People said the same thing about the computer.
That's what I'm asking.
The religious nuts are like, the computer is going to cause the mark of the beast or all of that crazy shit and whatever.
The mark of the beast is in zeros and ones. It's become apparent now. Harry Potter is the devil. That's what my non-denominational school taught.
Are you ready for this?
I'm listening.
So, I was going to tell you something. Like I said, you always do this to me. I don't remember what I was going to say. But
we were talking about Jesus freaks out in the street.
Last week, we're talking about
Bernie Taupin.
Obama with the whole quasi-alien disclosure.
Acknowledgement. Quasi-alien acknowledgement.
Yeah, but the slimy, oh, well, they exist, but I've never seen one, but they may be there, but they may not be. And I was like, whatever. Why even say that? It's like fucking, you know what I mean?
He forgot himself. I mean, but yeah.
I don't know.
And then he remembered.
You know what? I think that dude is way too calculating individual to forget himself. He's got the whole folksy thing down. He's a politician, man, just like all of them. So I don't trust any of them.
Who are sociopaths with master's degrees.
And everybody, like the fact that people will worship anybody's altar. So so along those lines, my favorite new thing is now that the fervor, for whatever reason, the alien disclosure thing, I see these people on YouTube talk about aliens are demons, right?
Okay.
They're demons. You're being misled.
Okay.
And I'm going, who imagines that? And then who feels the need to make a video where they post it?
It's people who with a limited scope, right? They're trying to reconcile.
You have no knowledge.
Well, but they think they do because what it is they're trying to reconcile with something that's beyond their understanding. They're trying to fit it into their vernacular. So what's evil? What's a confuser? What is a great deceiver?
Mindless.
But you understand what's a deceiver?
I understand.
It's got to be. They have to fit it into what they can wrap their head around. And if they can call it evil, they can turn away from it without looking it in the eyes.
All I'm getting at is with technology, it gives everybody the opportunity to literally expose their real stupidity, which is why I keep coming back to the free speech thing. People that don't like what Donald Trump says or this guy says, or you name the person.
Charlie Kirk.
Whatever. I'm like this. When I realize someone is a real fucktard.
Yeah. I don't know if you can say it anymore, but
I don't give a fuck, dude.
Yeah, I know.
Let me be real. Like, yeah, I'm addressing the world right now. Go fuck yourself. When I realize who you really are, I just let you keep talking. The last thing I want to do is fucking try to show you the light. You know what I'm saying?
You know what the kids say about that? It's exactly in the same vein. When someone shows me who they really are, I believe them.
Oh, right.
I love that. It's like, you tell me you're a fucktard, I'm not going to convince you any other way. I'm gonna watch and accept
so
that.
Many times, dude. So I've been involved with someone or just whatever scenario, that switch goes off in the back of my head, and I just let them be themselves, because they will literally destroy themselves. I don't try to guide them back, because they will. You know what happens when you try to guide them? They turn that bullshit on you.
Well, it's like,
and so
it's like someone who doesn't want to, who's drowning and doesn't want to swim to survive. They'll end up drowning you, dragging you down.
Right on.
Someone always told me this, which was
grab
interesting.
On you into a dead weight.
I've always had this Captain Save a Hoe. No offense to those hoes out there. I mean, I've always had this Captain Save a Hoe kind of thing in the back of my pocket and in the back of my mind. And
I don't even know what that means, but okay.
Well, what I mean is I see a tragic figure, and I'd always try to say, let me fix this. I can make this good again. If I polish it off and I bring it up here, it'll be up here and feel better about its life. The problem is, in order to bring someone up, you have to step down.
Yeah. Well, that's what they do.
And that's where it gets tricky.
Yeah.
You have to step down, lower yourself. And
I find that the haters do it to make them, they hate on you to make themselves look good. I mean, I have a list of shit like that to where I'm like, wow, man.
I think there's gems in what we're talking about. I don't mean gems, J-I-M-S. I mean gems like G-E-M-S.
Yes.
Like, I do believe that. That's the point of these conversations. I mean, it's like a musician, or it's like something, I think every now and then we all act as satellites and we receive something from the unknown, whether it's just a universe transmitting through static or dust. And, but every now and then we're the recipients of something otherworldly, divine. Maybe we're just these interesting satellites. So I think that's what's interesting about this podcast. Now, other people will simply see two old assholes or two assholes rambling on. And to them, I would say, exit through the gift shop. But for others who are interested, I think there's more to come. I think it's almost time to do our homework assignment.
Yeah. Did you do the last one?
Yes. I'm going to work on it. The dog bit my hand when I was doing. So what happened was I went to do it. That's what happened. That's what happened. To quote Joe Pesci. That's right. That's what it was. We went goose hunting and we realized we had forgotten our weapons. And so we turned around. What's that from? JFK.
Yeah.
To be perfectly honest, I find your story unbelievable. Really? Which part?
Don't you love how the term, see, most people don't even, when they say the term conspiracy theory, they don't even know what it means. It's just a phrase floated by the CIA back then to make anybody that questioned the narrative look nuts.
Oh, was that an actual term for misdirection, for propaganda?
Yes, and now it's this thing. Whenever somebody goes, I think you're guilty of fraud, that's a conspiracy theory. No, we have bank records. It's not a conspiracy theory. It's a factual, I'm looking at evidence that you have committed crimes. It's not a conspiracy theory. There are, you know what I'm saying? And so it's a diversionary tactic to go.
Diversionary.
It's the same way that we forgot to talk about the Tourette's guy. It's the same way people.
We got to bring him up.
They wave the racism flag whenever they get caught. It's immediately, you don't hate you. You're doing it because you hate me because of this, or it's never about.
It's a Malcolm X movie. Get your hands out of my pocket.
Fucking God.
It's diversion. Everybody looks over there so they can do whatever the fuck they want over here.
I want to tell you about I want to tell you, you talk about the guy, was it in England?
Let's talk about that.
And I want to tell you the story about my friend, and then we'll pick a movie.
So there's an awards.
Or an album or whatever.
What was it called? CAFTA. I read about
it. I never saw it until this morning when you showed me.
So some awards show movie, that basically the British equivalent of the Oscars.
Right.
And there was two of the gents from Sinners up there, and there was a guy.
Basically all black vampire flick.
Yes, if you haven't seen it, I'd recommend it. It's really interesting and pretty good, and it's won tons of awards. Dusk Till Dawn. Gone next, a different level, a different flavor, a different spin. And I won't say it's like a copy of Dusk Till Dawn, but Sinners is an interesting film. I recommend seeing it. Okay. So meanwhile, in the audience, there's a guy who had a film
legitimately has Tourette's.
There's a guy in the audience who legitimately has Tourette's, and he's there as a representative. Or actually, he's there because there's a film based on his life. But this is the actual guy with Tourette's. And he decides, he doesn't decide.
The two black men walk to the podium to either announce an award or announcing an award, right?
I only saw an expert. They're there to say something, okay? Yeah. The two. And this guy in the background screams, or in the audience, this guy in the audience screams the N-word.
Yeah.
And
like the whole world heard it.
It's cringy as fuck. And you can see their faces just like, oh shit. We're in a foreign land.
Yeah.
And here's domestic problems. We're in a foreign land and here's some domestic shit.
They're looking at a sea of white people, white British people, and they hear that. Yeah.
I mean, it's like they have no reinforcements. This isn't fucking New York where you can go down the street.
They don't have their posse?
No, they ain't got their posse. They ain't got their cousins. They ain't got nobody. It's just a sea of whiteness.
Soccer hooligans.
So what's funny to me is, and some people have conjectured on this, it's a conspiracy theory. Some people have said that the individual who did this did it so he could plug his movie.
Yeah.
And to that, I would say I know the movie, and I'm about to plug it for him. It's called I Swear, Double Entendre.
Yeah.
And I should never know the fucking name of that movie because it doesn't even look great. And I'm sure somebody's like, fuck you, it's a great movie.
Just because the way the guy was shaking his head.
But that's where we're at now. That's where we're at now, where everybody knows the name of the fucking movie.
It's pathetic. It really is.
And of course the host, who I don't know who it is, his name is right here. now, and here's a picture of him. He says, "I'm terribly sorry," in Englishman, and I'm paraphrasing. "I'm terribly sorry. It's involuntary. I'm sorry if you were offended by the language." That's the British. "Look, I'm very sorry, but it's really not our fault. It's probably your own fault. Yeah. And if you don't know that, you're probably American. Have a good day."
Oh, my God.
That's what it means. Anyway, listen, very strange to me. I want to give him the benefit of the doubt, but something in here says, the fuck? I don't believe you.
I don't believe him at all.
I don't fucking believe him, but I'm going to watch your film.
It's too on the nose, man.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you my quick Tourette story.
Okay.
Because it's funny. It's fuck. And the strangest thing about this is one of the girls involved literally texted me today because I sent her the podcast. She lives in Dallas.
Okay.
Her name is Candy. Her sister's name is Chris, and they're two blonde twins that I played bass in their kind of like country band that they tried to get going forever, and that's a whole other lifetime ago. But she's still a dear friend to me, and at that period in life, they're producers. They do all kinds of stuff like that, fundraising and whatever, musical shows. They put together this really cool show called Rocket that played in Dallas for, I think we were active like maybe 3 months at the Granada Theater. And it was like every Thursday and Saturday night, we were this headline thing, and it was a variety act. And I was the only musician, right? There were dance troops, like the woman that, Shella is her name, who does all the choreography for the Dallas Cowboy Cheerleaders and the Dallas Mavericks.
Okay.
She's got her dance troupe, and some of the girls are, remember I told you I briefly dated a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader who was completely insane. That's when this happened. So she had, it was these people, it was like a stand-up comedian who I'm about to talk about. It was a really killer singer. There were artists who would do live paintings with airbrushes and whatnot. It was this variety show, and people would come see, and I would come out in the middle of the show and play this like bass guitar solo. Anyway, so we have this party after the show, and the comedian guy, his name is, we'll just call him Rory. He was fucking just an insane person.
Name withheld.
Yeah, he was just an insane person, and I love the guy to death, man. I wish I knew what he was up to now. Like I said, he's probably in prison. But we go back to his apartment, and it was like an apartment like from any crazy fucking Will Ferrell or Jim Carrey movie where there's like a bong stain on the floor this big, you know, and 48 beer bottles everywhere. And it's, I don't know, me and like 10 other people. And it's this shitty little apartment in this apartment complex in Dallas, and it's like 3:00 in the morning, and we're all drunk, and we're all hooting and hollering and having fun, and we're all crammed in this little living room watching TV and drinking, and he's standing up and he's doing part of his comedy act, and we're all laughing, and neighbors start complaining because we're raising hell at 3 a.m., right?
Okay.
And fucking cops show up. Cops knock on the door, and I open the door, and I'm like, oh, man. And they're like, hey, we're just going to warn you, you know, y'all got to chill the fuck out. And the Tourette's part comes right about here, where he's like always pretending to have Tourette's. And the cops are talking to us, and he just goes, fuck. And the cops are like, he goes, I'm like, oh, you know, I'm like trying not to look at him. And I'm looking at him like, dude, they're being cool. Let them walk off, right? And they're like, we don't want to have to fucking come back here. Y'all chill out. Yes, officer. Close the door, okay. Right? And I'm sitting there, and he starts like walking around like this. Man, fuck them. They're not going to tell me this. And then I'm like, Rory, chill out.
Yeah.
Right?
Bitch, be cool.
And I'm with this girl, and she goes, hey, man, I think we ought to go. And I'm like, you know what? I think you're right. So he's like, oh, y'all are going to leave. And I'm like, yeah, man, we're done. It's 3:00 in the morning. And I stand up and I open the door to walk out into the breezeway.
Yeah.
And right when I walk out the door, those two cops are still standing there listening.
What were they listening for? What were they listening
to make more noise? It's like literally 5 minutes after.
They didn't want to leave and have to come back 8 minutes
later. It's 5 minutes after they told us to shut up.
Right.
And here I am opening the door, and I walk outside, and she's still getting her damn purse, because if she'd have hurried up.
Right.
And I'm standing there, and the cops are looking at me, and I'm like this. This dude, he's still in his apartment and cannot see the cops that I can see, picks up one of the beer bottles off the kitchen counter and throws it like a baseball at my friggin' head. And I just do like this, and it shatters on the door of the apartment across the breezeway. And those cops just look at me, and I'm like,
here's the idiot.
They go in there and they grab his ass, and he starts going, "Cunt!" That's why I was laughing today at the
like he was faking Tourette's still. Like that
he was doing. He was
like,
"Fuck," and I'm dying laughing, bro.
Asshole face.
Yeah, like, and I'm going, this guy's crazy. They're just going to go put him in jail. Anyway.
All right, so 2 things. Well, actually fun. 3 things. Let me hurry up and summarize. So I want to just make a little...
Why do you have to hurry up and summarize? You could edit.
Well, it's 2 hours.
And right here.
So I want to make a quick intro or quick talk about what this podcast is about or what it's been about, which is interesting. It's kind of AI fatigue. And it's also about... AI fatigue. Well, I don't think we have a phobia or fear of AI, but I think the world is becoming aware that there's something... just around the bend, whatever that is subject to interpretation or subject to paranoia, right? But I think we're all feeling something. We're halfway to somewhere. This is the beginning of the end again. The beginning of the end again.
The time is now again.
Yes. Also, another thing we've kind of are going to talk about or have talked about on this podcast is, I guess, ways to kind of center back from this, or at least
You're
ways
gonna edit so much of this out, though.
I know. I have to worry about it. So I'm going to talk about this new watch that I have because I'm kind of a watch guy, but not a douchey, like Rolex type of guy. I'm not that guy. So it's by a company called Toledano and Chan, and I'm obsessed with this watch. And no, they're not paid sponsors. I have to pay for this. But I love this because we're talking about innovation. We're talking about the pursuit of excellence and artistry. And I think this is it. Obviously, no one needs an analog timepiece anymore. We have many ways to tell the time, but I think if you know what time it is, you may be interested in admiring an analog timepiece. And so I just got this, and I think it's awesome, and I'm going to plug them. Most people are going to think this is douchey, and for you, I would say, exit through the gift shop. Now, let's do our homework assignment. Last time you assigned an album and I told them, or I assigned a movie. So now we got to switch again. So you start. God damn it. Can you start with the movie or you want me to start with an album?
It doesn't matter. Let me think.
Okay.
The last one I told you is really a serious movie. You got to watch that in silence, man. You got to like take it in.
Which movie?
There Will Be Blood.
Yeah. And I've started watching it, but it's 2 hours. It's hard for me. I already talked about my attention span.
So great.
But it's not really with film, but in general. So, okay, album. Maybe
I haven't picked the movie yet.
Oh, you're going to do it first? Okay.
Well, you said do that.
Well, come on. Come on, bro. We're running out of tape.
This is the 4th episode.
No, it's actually a 3rd episode. But it's 2 hours we've recorded, so it's almost like 4 episodes.
Fine.
How much am I going to edit this down? Hour 20, you think?
I don't know, man. Don't cut out too much.
All right, I'll try.
There's a lot of shit with.
I might do part 1, part 2.
A lot of shit with fixing the camera that. Yeah, you could. Like I said, you could always cut it.
That was only 3
minutes. Hey, remember
this?
You can edit this out. That I'm saying you could take this one and cut it into like 10-minute snippets and have.
I got it.
10 vignettes or
I know I'm going to do that one day.
Just saying.
We might do part 1 and 2. So of this episode 3, part 1 and 2, that would be smart. Okay.
Movies. I'm like the obscure person that likes, I don't like anything that is just so generic. So don't get me wrong. I do appreciate a lot of run of the mill stuff, but I want to be entertained. Same with music. Like, oh, that's great. The band's really tight. Well, that should be a given. The band should be tight. What do they create, right? If it's not King Crimson, it's shit. I'm just kidding. But
King Crimson, I love that.
Fucking love King Crimson, bro.
In the court of the King, in the court of the Crimson King.
Yeah. Anyway, so movies, I'm the same way, man. I want to be entertained and
everything needs to be good. Cinematography, plot,
and I'll tell you. As far as a run-of-the-mill, here's my deal. I love sci-fi, and I love the idea of sci-fi and to a lesser extent horror. But the problem with those movies is I'm always disappointed. I would love good horror movies if I thought people could make a good one, but they really don't seem like they're able to. It's always cheesy. And the same thing with sci-fi. But having said that, a good horror / sci-fi movie that is really fucking banging, if you haven't seen it, and you probably have, is the original Predator.
Oh, yeah. I've watched it not too long ago.
Oh, my God, dude.
On Betamax.
Cinematography. All of it. The whole...
It's not the most beautiful film, but it has a vibe, and it's a consistent vibe.
It's the way they did it. It's just really fucking cool. That's my pick.
Okay. Well, I am looking through my phone, trying to figure out through my iTunes what I should recommend as far as an album. And I should just have it on the top of my head, but we live in a digital age, and that's what it is.
Yeah, I just scrolled through my Rolodex.
And I saw a couple of selections that I like on here.
Oh,
but you know what I think I'm going to pick, which is a little bit of a strange era, which is the band Cold.
Oh, yeah.
Who was kind of a weird, kind of dark, I won't say metal. I don't know if they're considered new metal, but we're talking about early 2000s here, right? But there's a great band, or excuse me, but early 2000s, but they have a great album called Year of the Spider. And that is a whole weird thing. It's pop, but it's totally not pop. And I say pop, I mean pop rock, where it has kind of those catchy choruses and great kind of hooks, but it's totally talking about dark things.
It's not like that modern pop punk shit, is it?
It's dressed up. It's dressed up to get the commercial mall goer to listen, but if you listen to what it's actually about, it's so much more. It's an album even 23 years later I'm still listening to. Now I know people are all into these emo bands and all of that. If you listen to this, it's not quite emo, but it's still relevant. And I think if you liked Blink-182, which I've never fully understood, but I know the kids love it, you'll love Cold. It's underexplored, overlooked, and they're totally worth it. So anyway, this is our third episode, and it might be part 1, part 2 of Static and Dust. And for those of you who enjoyed this, thank you for watching. There's so much more to come. For those of you who did not like this, there's so much more to come. And exit through the gift shop. Yeah. Exit through the gift shop. Bye. I'm still on camera. Fuck.
That's how you should start off the episode, with you just going, I'm still on camera. Fuck.
Does this shirt make me look fat?
No.
Well, thanks, Dave.